Zambia Namba mune we mina Zambia we shitishe talem Gawa mono mulwani aisa no lukio renge Miko kola umusebe we mwene wa talem.
Hello, my name is Mainda Simataa. I'm the General Secretary of the Economic Liberation Association. Today I just want to go through some FAQs or frequently asked questions about economic liberation movement so that it can help us market and introduce the movement to those who would like to join us and those who want to know more about what we do or what we are about. So I'll start by answering the most frequently asked questions. I won't answer them in detail. Detailed programs or detailed recordings will be availed to you in due course. However, I'll handle the most salient questions that we frequently come across as a liberation organization. The first question is, what is ELA? Well, the letters ELA, to start with, mean Economic Liberation Association. The Economic Liberation Association is a Zambian liberation movement. It is a movement championing for economic freedom for all Zambians. And what do we mean by economic freedom? We mean certain social services, certain human rights must be respected. Among them, we are championing the cause for free education for everyone from grade 1 to university level, free health for all, no fees associated. We are championing for the right to employment. We are also championing for the right for Zambians to own and possess their own land and resources for their own benefit. Our official ideology is socialism. You must be aware that any movement that calls for liberation must have an ideological orientation, and our ideological orientation is socialism. I'll speak more of socialism in subsequent programs, but for now, all you must know is that socialism is an ideology that calls for social justice and equality, the right to free education, the right to free health, employment, land ownership, and so on. Question number 2, why do we exist? The existence of ELA is a natural response to the current affairs in Zambia. What do I mean? To understand why we exist, you must understand the current state of affairs in Zambia. Zambia is a nation that is very rich, potentially rich in terms of mineral resources, arable land, and so on. But currently our population, 86% of our population lives in abject poverty. That is about under $1 a day. Such circumstances cannot be allowed to be condoned because they constitute a time bomb. If our growing population, which currently stands at 17 million, is faced with challenges such as unemployment, no access to education, no access to health, injustice, and so forth, basically the economy can't function as it should, and social services break down. The result is chaos and poverty, and we don't want to see that, not as long as we are around. So our response to this is formation of ELA, like I've said, so that we can champion for the economic liberation of Zambia. Question number 3, what do we want? What we want is to fulfill the aspirations and expectations of Zambia. These are the aspirations and expectations that were placed before us, or rather given to us at independence by our founding fathers, Comrade Kenneth Kaunda and the rest of his colleagues like Simon Kapwepwe, Mainza Chona, and the rest. The aspirations of all Zambians is a better life. How do you have a better life? A better life means free education, or universal access to education, universal access to health, decent food, clothing, shelter, the right to employment, social welfare support, protection for those that are vulnerable and cannot afford to take care of themselves. These are the aspirations that Zambian people want, and they want them because everyone naturally wants a better life. So that is what we want. We want to fulfill the aspirations and expectations of Zambia. We want them to lead free lives, productive lives, and we want them to realize their hopes, their dreams, and their ambitions. Question number 4, what is our agenda? The agenda of ELA, broadly speaking, is the championing of economic freedom, but that has to be broken down into a workable plan. And that plan for us is encapsulated in the 10-point plan. And the 10-point plan for the Economic Liberation Association consists of certain aspects that are crucial for any nation on earth or any people on earth to be economically liberated. So I'll just go through them quickly, point by point. On our 10-point plan, point number one is the liberation and repossession of all land from foreigners. You must realize that land is what defines us, land is what makes us Zambians, land is the thing that we are tied to. It is the resource that we depend on for our very lives. So we do not condone the wanton sale or apportionment of land to foreigners at the expense of Zambians. Point number 2, cancellation of OIMF loans. We advocate for the cancellation of OIMF loans. As you should know, Zambia right now is currently one of the most indebted countries in the world. Our debt stock is running at about $13 billion, and half of that has been accumulated just within the first 5 years of the PF. So a nation that is in debt is a nation under slavery. You cannot progress with debt. So our proposal is the cancellation of all IMF loans as one of our 10-point plans, and the harnessing of our own resources to be able to generate the income that we want. Zambia is not poor. Zambia is rich. It is simply a poorly managed nation. Point number 3 on our 10-point plan is nationalization of all mines or control of 51% ownership. You must realize that this is a copper colony. It's a copper country. It's a colony that was founded on copper, and it's still a colony of the multinational copper mining corporations such as KCM, MCM, Mopani Copper Mines, the rest, Lumwana, First Quantum Minerals, and the rest. Much of what is generated in Zambia in terms of income, 83% of revenue is derived from copper, but only 2% of that comes back into our coffers. So our examination and our conclusion is that if we can harness our own resources and gain from these resources, such as the copper mines, our mineral wealth, there is no need for us to borrow. And that's why in point number 2 we said we must cancel IMF loans, and the alternative is to raise income from our own resources. And that is tied in with point number 3, which is the nationalization of all mines or the control of 51% ownership. That is a non-negotiable point. Point number 4 is prioritization of agriculture as main economic activity. Point number 5, banning of all foreign imports that disadvantage our local Zambian businessmen and women. Point number 6, I'll make emphasis on this: the deportation of all Indians and Chinese who abuse our people. We should not tolerate circumstances whereby foreigners who come into this country get our land, get our most valuable resources, and at the end of the day continue to exploit our people. That must never be tolerated. Point number 7, education and healthcare must be free for all Zambians. Point number 8, make employment and empowerment a right for all. Point number 9, boost energy production and industrialize. And point number 10, create social welfare, security, safety net for all the vulnerable. So these are some of the 10-point plans that encapsulate and represent the agenda of the economic liberation. That is what we want. Point number 5, or rather question number 5, where are we based? The Economic Liberation Association is based in Lusaka. We are headquartered in Lusaka. We are yet to establish more branches around the country, because if we are to win economic freedom, this must be an agenda for all Zambians. We must involve anyone and everyone in this struggle for economic freedom. But for now, we are restricted to Lusaka for reasons that I will mention later. Point number 6, what do we believe in? We believe in possibilities. We believe in the possibilities of Zambians to have a better life in our own country. We believe in the possibility of economic freedom. We believe in the progress and obtaining of all the necessary amenities of life for everyone, not just those that are privileged to be rich, but even those who are underprivileged. We believe in the possibilities for everyone. That is our belief, and our belief is guided by the ideology of socialism, an economic and political system that ensures that there is economic and social justice for everyone. Question number 7, who funds ELA? ELA is not funded by anyone. We are not funded by foreigners. We are not funded by embassies. We don't have any particular rich patron who's funding us. ELA relies upon the membership contributions of its own people to fund this revolution. And I must mention here that we have not been doing so well on funding. Like any other liberation movement, this is nothing new. People are yet to get used to the idea of economic freedom. So our financial base is not really strong, and that is what restricts us to operating in areas which we can reach, just like we are based here in Lusaka. So our appeals are that members should join in. The more people we have, the more funds we can raise, and the more we can prosecute this issue of economic liberation. So ELA is not funded by anyone. The members of ELA, executive members, are not paid. We are volunteers. We are volunteers because we realize how important it is for us to sacrifice ourselves, sacrifice our efforts and our talents towards the economic liberation of Zambia, which is going to benefit everyone. Question number 7. Who can join ELA and how? ELA is a movement for everyone. It's a movement for all Zambians. Everyone who genuinely cares about Zambia and the poor state of affairs in this country must be a member of ELA. If you are Zambian and you don't care, you must ask yourself a question: what are you doing here? We believe that Zambia suffers not so much because of what the bad people do, but Zambia suffers because of what we, the good people, fail to do. We are silent in times of trouble. We look the other way when things are happening that affect us. So we believe that anybody who believes that Zambians deserve better must join the Economic Liberation Association. Question number 8. What is expected of members who join ELA? The number one thing that we expect from all members who join ELA is devotion. Devotion to the cause of Zambia's economic freedom. Absolute devotion, unwavering devotion. You must be devoted to this idea of economic freedom the way our founding fathers were devoted to the idea of independence and the end of colonialism in this country. Because right now, the cause that we are fighting for is a cause for the economic emancipation of this country, the cause for free education and free health for everyone, decent jobs, well-paying jobs, housing, healthcare, and food for everyone. These are things that are worth fighting for. So the number one expectation for those people who join Economic Liberation Association, number one, you must be devoted to the cause of this movement, and that is economic freedom. And number two, you have a duty to recruit other people to join ELA. You have a duty to tell your neighbor, to tell your mother, to tell your father, to tell your brother, your friend, your colleague at school. Tell them Zambia has been economically colonized, and it is important for us to pursue this venture of economic freedom if we are to lead better lives. If you are in school, you are in college, you cannot get a decent job at the moment that pays you what is deserved, or something that even can enable you to recover the amount of money you have invested in education. And that is only for those that are privileged enough to be in education. For the majority of Zambians, education is a pipe dream. They can't simply afford it. So you have a duty to recruit, tell others about Economic Liberation Association, tell them about the need for economic freedom in Zambia. And this issue of economic freedom is not just an issue that is based here in Zambia. In South Africa, they are calling for economic freedom. In Namibia, they are calling for economic freedom. In Congo, they are calling for freedom. Youths all over the world have realized that political independence is not enough. It's not enough for us to have black presidents, to have our judiciary and our parliament. It is enough for us to control our own natural resources, and that is the core thrust of Economic Liberation Association. Duty number 3, payment or submission of funds to Economic Liberation Association. Every movement, every revolutionary movement needs funding, gentlemen. It needs funding. It cannot fund itself. It is people who fund the revolution, and also contribution of funds as a member per month. And these are very affordable funds. It's very affordable amounts that can be afforded. It's not something that can pinch your pocket. It's just about the amount of money that you spend on talk time in a week. So we are saying that as a measure of your devotion and dedication and genuine application to the movement, we must see you to be serious, and we can only deem that if we can see you passing a vote of confidence in the movement by your monthly subscription, as well as subscribing per month. Your amount that you subscribe to the movement also helps us to reach other areas that we cannot at the moment. It also enables us to reach out to people who may not be within our reach, let's say here in Lusaka. It helps to pay for the nitty-gritty expenses that are the nature of operation every day in the movement. So those are 3 core duties that you have: absolute devotion to the movement, subscription of your monthly membership, which is a measure of your commitment, and also the measure of your dedication to the movement. Question number 8. What are the rewards? There's always this question of what is in it for me. I would like to state up front to say, rather than ask what is in it for you, you must ask what is in it for Zambia. What is in it for our nation? You must ask what you can do for your country rather than ask what your country can do for you. So basically, what's in it for you? It is freedom for us all. The freedom of Mother Zambia is the freedom for us all. If we can liberate our economy, our nation from foreign control, it means we can liberate the mines which generate about $12 billion annually. This is enough money to pay for your free education. This is enough money to pay for your free health. This is enough money to construct housing so that we can all have decent accommodation. This is enough money for us to invest in industrialization projects, to diversify into agriculture. The problem is that the resources that we have in this country are not being used for the benefit of our people. They are being exported out there for other people to benefit. And that's why we are saying it's important for you to ask what you can do for your country, to ask what you can do for Mother Zambia, rather than ask what Mother Zambia can do for you. If Zambia wins, if we win economic freedom, and we will, all of us will be beneficiaries of the fruits of economic freedom. Question number 9, where can you find us? The best way to reach us is our Facebook page. Go on our Facebook page, drop us an inbox, tell us who you are, what your name is, where you are based, and that you want to join this struggle for the economic liberation of Zambia. From there, the General Secretary, who is myself, and my deputy, or the National Coordinator, or the Publicity Secretary, will get in touch with you and give you directions on what is expected of you, and how you can join us in this struggle for economic freedom. The numbers are there on our Facebook page. You can call me, you can call my deputy. Just simply log into Facebook, go to Economic Liberation Association-ELA. You can find us there. Number 10 is not a question at all, but it's an appeal. This is an appeal that I'm making to all Zambians. I'm making an appeal to all Zambians, to those who care, not those who don't, because I'm aware that there are those who don't, but we are not focusing on those who don't. They are very few in number, and they have got reasons why they don't care, because they are benefiting from the corruption that makes us poor. So my appeal is to the majority of Zambians who are feeling the pinch of poverty, who are feeling the deprivation of lack of employment, decent employment, lack of access to health facility, lack of opportunities in our country. I'm making a passionate appeal to you. Don't wait to join tomorrow. Tomorrow we may be dead. Tomorrow this country may be taken over by these capitalists who have come into our country in large numbers, the Chinese and the Indians, who are buying up everything. They are buying up land, buying up houses, buying up properties, buying up businesses. We cannot wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow might be too late. Let's join the struggle today. This is your country. It is your country. It is my country. It is our country. Let's join to protect this country. Let's preserve and promote and protect our freedom. Therefore, let us not be too complacent in our revolutionary efforts. We must examine ourselves. We must ask ourselves, as Zambians, can we do better? Couldn't we do better? And I believe that we can do better, and we must do better if this country is to be free. We can make Mother Zambia a better place for ourselves and the generations to come. So let us be critical in our approach, the way we approach our national affairs. Let us not say politics is a dirty game, or politics is for politicians. That is the worst mistake that we can ever make. We have seen how the current politicians and political parties have failed us. The only way is for clean people like you and me, genuine people, honest people who mean well, to go into politics and try and make a difference. We have the numbers, we have the knowledge, we have the ideology, we have the 10-point plan. It is just remaining for us to dedicate ourselves to politics. Politics must never be left to politicians. Politics must be undertaken by people who mean well, who've got the technical expertise, the revolutionary knowledge to push this country forward. So let us be critical in the way we approach politics, but let us not be too self-critical. We must not be self-critical to the point where we feel hopeless and worthless. We must never reach that point. We must never despair, because despair is the worst sin. I believe that economic freedom is possible. I believe that victory is possible. The victory of you, the victory of me, the victory of our Mother Zambia. Let us join together. Let us make a difference. Together we can win. So please, join the struggle for economic freedom. Join Economic Liberation Association today. Together we can make a difference. A luta continua, and God bless.